Hello Taurus friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Taurus January 2023 Astrology Horoscope forecast. This is for you if Taurus is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other placement of Taurus you're watching for. What we're going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if your birthday is later in the sign, so very late degree friends, May 15th or so through the rest of the sign, or if you have a Taurus planet 23 degrees or so through the rest of the sign, I suggest you also watch my Gemini report, since the Taurus and Gemini reports will hold information for you late degree friends. Calling the theme of this month, this new year energy, harmonic convergence for Taurus. And we'll talk about why. I'm going to go into all of the details of what I think will help you to make the most about the astrological potentials this month and beyond. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about has to do with the energy of waking up. Mercury was retrograde going direct. Mars was retrograde going direct. Let's look at my little timeline and we'll come back to the chart. From September of 2022, all through the end of that year, in the beginning of 2023, we've had retrograde personal planets, which has lent us to inward and backward activities. Being the spider, waiting for the food to come to us, waiting in your web patiently, not being as proactive. Not always easy things for Taurus friends to do. But now things are changing, and January is a pivotal month. It's a transition month on our way to the biggest open period of stars for a long time, and then will be for a long time. So January 12th, Mars wakes up, and along with it, ambitions, oomph, energy, clarity about how you want to use your energy. January 18th, Mercury starts to wake up. Clarity about plans, agreements, information, seeing more than one or two steps ahead of you. All of that starts to shift as the month progresses and we step into what really feels like a very new year. In some ways, you'll start feeling this energy of new year even at the end of November into December, as the eclipse energies that have cleared so much karma are shifting. It's really just releasing a lot of burden and really starting to feel like things are becoming new, even though it's not quite the new year yet. Then we enter a new stage in the actual new year. Then slowly as the month progresses, everything gets really fast moving, shiny, new, open. February 7th, the Mercury post-shadow period comes to a close. And then March 16th, Mars regains its full strength. So you'll see, I have this in a crescendo sort of motion here, that every day from January 12th onward for the next few months, the energies get more rambunctious, more forward moving, more clean slate energy, more new things. And we're having this crescendo up to this point of March 16th through April 7th, when all of the personal planets and their retrograde shadow periods and all of that are completely clear. And so we have a complete open sky here, March 16th through April 7th for new things. But you've got a lot of usable energy, from the end of January, definitely through February and March, before you get up to that point of trying to do new things. Now, just a little reminder of the transition here of what's going on over the course of January. From the beginning, it's really still in retro. It starts to get more direct. And as the month goes on, it gets completely into this direct energy. And then as January, February, March progress, we're really into this direct energy. So, we're moving from the energy of just dealing with what comes up and clearing out clutter and research and leaving yourself unscheduled for last minute magic and wrapping up loose ends and confusion and not forcing things and just being in the moment and not stretching your sight beyond this moment. You're really going to move into this time where you can push and initiate and future plan and have more clarity, brand new projects, both you instigating them and them coming to you, moves, more clarity about investing and agreements, big purchases, big decisions, launches. Remember when you launch something new into the world, it has a birth imprint. And you're having some really good stars open up here with this timeline I've showed you for new things. So if you've been brewing and building over some things during these retrogrades, you're going to have your big shiny moment of bringing them out. All right, now let's look at some things, starting with the wake-ups of other types of things that can be waking up for you. I mean, everything can be waking up, but we see Mercury has been retrograde, so, information, education, all of these things have been in the backdrop. And this has been retrograde in the house of Sagittarius, which is teaching and learning and education and immigration and international business. And so if any of those things have seemed like they were unsure or lacking luster, you'll see a very big push forward. And in your money sector, Mars is waking up in your money sector. So Mars going retrograde, and then especially in Gemini, which tends to vacillate, might have been making you confused about some decisions about your money, your finances, your spending, your income. And so now, as things move forward, particularly that area can awaken. And publishing projects are also coming from the Gemini here with Mars, and the 9th house here from Capricorn. So that's some specific focused energy for Taurus that is waking up this month. Okay, so let's talk about the theme of the month, harmonic convergence, where basically stars that are in a beautiful aspect with each other are coming together in meaningful ways for everyone in the zodiac. But because a lot of this is taking place in the sign and in the element that Taurus is also, then this is taking higher stakes and higher outcomes for you. All right, so we've got all of this energy of Capricorn. Some of these are fast moving, Hygeia, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, but they're all going to make trines, the most fabulous aspect in all of astrology for you. So you get kisses from Venus, which rules love, beauty, and money, and self-esteem, and surety, and confidence. Kisses from the Sun, warming up and making things bright, bringing creative spirit. Kisses from the Capricorn perspective, business, systems, finances, your place out in the world, practical application of your resources. Mercury, news, information. And Pluto in a long-term way, support, transformation. All of these energies are converging. And in particular, right at the beginning of the month, December 31st through January 1st, Pluto, the bringer of birth, death, transformation, rebirth, is coming together with Venus. So big news and information there. And then we've got the energy of Mercury coming close to and then passing Pluto. Information, fated information, a convergence of information. And all of this is taking place in your fellow sign. So everyone in the zodiac is having this harmonic convergence. This particular set of connections is going to be even stronger for you all in that late degree sector. So those of you same people who I said, watch my Gemini report, May 15th or so through the rest of the sign, 23 degrees or so through the rest of the sign, you also are the same group that will get an even bigger lineup from the connections that are happening with the planets together here in Capricorn, and then making that exact aspect for you. But remember, no Taurus is left out of the possible goodies. There's just a matter of mathematical consequence, which often shows up as relevance. Now, these other planets, Hygeia and the Sun, those of you who are in the earlier times are going to be receiving these. All right, so everybody is getting something here. Nobody's being left out. And even those of you who are very early, you might be getting some of these kisses at the end of December, right before we move into January. But no one's being left out from it is the point. Now, those planets in the sky, many of them are also coming into contact with very important placements in Taurus. North Node, area of highest expression this lifetime. Taurus and Scorpio people have been going through a major curve of transformation between the end of 2021 and the end of 2023. This will go. We just hit another boom here between September and December, the eclipse season. The North and South Node transiting placements always correspond with the signs that the eclipses are in. So you all have been in the hot seat, and massive amount of change, reshuffling around of me versus we, my stuff versus our stuff. All of that has been very current, and I am happy to report that that intensity that's been happening for you, some information may still come in, but January and February are a time of integration between the eclipse sets. So once we get into March, April, May, June, we're kind of back in the heat of it again. But you've got a little break here if you've been getting shellacked, or if you've just have a lot of positive change, but it's overwhelming. You're getting a little break here. And what you're also getting is the combination of the planets connecting in the sky, offering more opportunities for you to see what it is that is your highest expression and getting on board with that path. And then, of course, we've got energy in Taurus that's just making its way through and bringing positive change for you. The Capricorn energies are giving you a great opportunity to get really disciplined with your New Year's intentions or resolutions, with your taxes, with anything tedious that needs extra effort and extra focus. You're having a blessing during this whole month. You'll have some of it, but they'll start to get lighter as the month goes on. So use this Capricorn energy for your projects that need a lot of focus, because that can give you great perseverance, even more so than usual, to push through some really annoying things to get them cleared up. A couple of dates to note. The first is the days around January 6th. So the days leading up to the 6th, close, in the first week of the month. We've got fullness, completion, fruition coming to the energy of Cancer. Okay, so 16 degrees. That's going to be home, housing, real estate, ancestry, your inner world, and it's highlighting for you the house of Gemini, which is your mobility, a lot of your relatives, your devices. So something coming to completion, fruition here of note. Could be dramatic, but hopefully it will be positive for you. At least we know that it is in a nice angle for your Taurus placement, making a 60-degree angle of opportunity. I always like to call that the ingredients on the counter angle, where things can be brought to you, but you have to do something to activate them. And all Taurus placements will feel this, but this is going to be at 16 degrees. So those of you between 11 and 21 degrees, the closer to 16 degrees, the more of a positive connection you'll get there. So that pretty much equates to like May 1st through May 11th, and the closer to May 6th, the more you get the kiss from that full moon. The next dates to note, January 21st, and the days around there, we've got the new moon in Aquarius. Okay, that's at 1 degree of Aquarius. New beginnings, seed planting, all coming to the realms of your 10th house, which is your career, your work, your employment. And for those of you who don't need to be employed or don't care about your income, if you're retired or whatever it is, these can be passion projects, things having to do with healing from situations with your father figures or authority figures, just some new beginnings there. If you love having dates that are important for the month, go to AnnieHelpsYou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter, get my 28-day virtual coaching program called Shine for free, and get my write-up a month early about all of the important dates and what you can expect from those connections delivered to your inbox. All right. Something else positive to note is that this month we have a good bit more sweet aspects compared to salty aspects. This is a little profile I always like to look at when I'm looking at the layers of influence of the stars in the month. So the planets are getting along more often than they're not this month, and we will feel that, the places where there are bumps, the little road bumps along the way, but there are many more sweet spots, sweet points of connection, and part of this harmonic convergence for Taurus is that a lot of those sweet points and connections are occurring in placements that also make a nice angle for you, adding an additional layer of sweetness. If you love this little timeline type of thing that I do, and you want to know the timeline like this of the astrological tides for the year, go to AnnieBAstrology.com, Annie, the letter B, astrology.com. Sign up for my exclusive content portal, and you'll get my 2023 astrological tides report so that you can see where the open periods are, where things open and close, so you can align with the natural rhythms of the universe. Because the energies of Capricorn light up your 9th house of Sagittarius, a lot of times that brings renewed optimism, renewed interest, renewed passion, renewed inspiration in education, in sharing information that you know, in anything having to do with widening your perspective, broadening your perspective, It can have to do with, like international travel or teaching or learning or different countries, different languages, etc. Or it can just have to do with having more optimism and having some expanded viewpoints that help you really to change your life for the better. And this can be very gentle, like a very gentle opening. What you've been going through with the eclipses sometimes has not been super gentle. It can be effective, but this is just like, just a switch in how you're seeing things that can really positively affect how you're viewing your life and how you're creating using your energy with newly direct Mars. Besides that new moon in Aquarius, we're also going to have all of those personal planets that we talked about in Capricorn. The Sun, Mercury, Venus move into Aquarius as the month goes on, and this is going to get you even more focused on those business projects, work, passion projects, whether they're for money or not. All of those things have multiple lines of energy of being lit up as the month goes on. If you resonate with how I teach and you want to learn astrology, go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com, and see my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course. I can take you from ground level or whatever level you're at to earning money as an astrologer in a very short amount of time. That is my area of expertise. So go to beastropro.com. If you want to see my other astrology course, my beginner course, or some free courses on how to unleash your money magnet and wellness, go to lumelife.com, Lume life.com. At Annie, the letter B, astrology, so AnnieBAstrology.com, you can see my exclusive content portal, and you can see my 2023 astrological tides guide that you can make all your planning for 2023 with this guide, with all the open windows free from personal planet retrogrades and so much more. If you think I am excessive with all of the free offerings I give you every month, then you should see what I put in that portal. Do-it-yourself things for learning how to read your natal chart, etc. So go to AnnieBAstrology.com and see my exclusive content portal. If you want a list of free things, all my blog sites, all the other things that I do, my 28-day virtual coaching program, accessing that, go to AnnieHelpsYou.com and see all the free goodies I have for you. And if you like books, put my name, Annie Botticelli, on Amazon. You'll find my 3 books there, and also my podcast, which is syndicated, which you may be listening to right now, or you might be watching the YouTube version of it, but you'll find my Astro Kisses podcast on Amazon as well. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.